The most I know about Agile is I think my husband, like, I don't know, 20 years ago or 15 years ago, got a book for his corporate-y jobby.
Yes.
That he had to read about Agile planning.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Oh, am I entering a cult? Do I need to back away?
Cult. It's good. It's good.
Productivity cult.
Productivity cult.
Hey y'all, welcome to OMG Planners. We are going to talk about Agile planning, and I don't know what that means, so we're going to have Jen take it away, like, right away.
Yes, absolutely. And that's okay because, Lolly, this is Agile Planning 101.
For beginners.
For beginners.
And I am your first test audience.
Yes.
And this is wonderful.
Similar situation to me in my previous life in product software development, developing apps and websites and all that fun stuff.
Yep.
Same thing. We actually went through an entire month-long training about Agile.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And there were certifications involved and
whoa. But you're going to make it approachable for all the people in the planners.
Yes, because I found that those same principles that are used can actually make us more productive and successful in our personal lives. So I'm very excited that my worlds have collided. And we're here for this. This is the twist.
Okay.
Agile is not a framework.
It's not a framework? I would think it was a framework.
No.
What is it?
It's a mindset.
Oh my gosh.
Agile was created in 2001 by 17 software developers that got together at a ski lodge in Utah.
I know what they were doing. Trying to write a ski trip deductible or something like that.
Well, born out of that is actually the Agile Manifesto.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's so fancy. Yes. So
I love everything about that.
So the way I've translated it from software world into our world is progress over perfection. Okay. Another core value is focus on what matters right now. And then another one is all about collaboration. So this applies more in the software world, but what I think is fun to think about it is like the Monday you versus the Friday you.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
And how the yous of the week are going to get together.
Collaborate with each other.
And get our goals done by the end of the week.
Those versions of Lolly are different.
In the beginning of the week, the feeling is like overwhelmed, but optimistic. And we really want that end of the week to be celebrating our wins.
Right. Instead of overwhelmed and despondent.
Yes. Or feeling like a failure or whatever. So we got to set ourselves up for success for that.
Okay.
And then the other core principle is around pivoting.
Ooh, we love a pivot.
We love
pivot. Is so real. I feel like much of my anxiety comes from resisting pivots and just embracing them.
Yes.
As like a given would probably make life a lot easier.
Yes, because it goes back to that. There's no perfect in planning. So you got to plan for the imperfect and be okay that it's not going to go 100% according to plan. And that is fine. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself grace. Okay. This is life, right?
Oh my gosh, I love it. Yes.
So you're going to hear some buzzwords that you already know about because we're doing
a corporate Jen buzzword is my favorite thing.
Yes.
Dovetail. Dovetail, I think, was one. And sprint is also one.
Yes. Now we're going to talk about Scrum. Scrum is a framework. The tasks that you do within Scrum align very well with Agile. Okay. Imagine a team of rugby players on a field.
Oh, yeah.
With a ball.
Okay.
And their task is to get that ball to the goal line. They're working together. There's a position called Scrum where they are working all together as one team to push that ball down the field.
Go Sports is my middle name, but I have overheard that I think football players are doing this now too.
Yes.
They're reaching the end. They're like, my husband's always like, that's not a football. It's a rugby thing that they're all trying and doing. It's really dangerous.
Like the push-tush.
Yeah. Like, Go Sports.
That's Scrum.
Okay.
And so it was basically likened to a team of engineers and product, designers and all that stuff. And we're working together to get this feature from start to finish. Okay. So it's kind of the same. So envision yourself, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday,
Yes.
Our objective is to get these tasks to the finish line. So let's break down Scrum.
Okay.
Where do we start? we start with a backlog. Backlog equals brain drop. What is a brain drop? Lolly, you know what a brain drop is.
All the thoughts in your brain, you just take it and you put it on a piece of paper outside of your brain.
So,
yes.
Example would be our brain drop.
This is our backlog.
So you take all of the tasks that are just floating in your head and you get them down. Now, if you don't have a brain drop pad, that's fine.
Yeah.
Use a piece of paper.
Yeah, totally.
Use a page out of your planner.
Yeah.
My favorite method is actually to use our sticky notes.
Okay.
So I
scrum on sticky notes.
I scrum on sticky notes.
Okay.
And the smaller the better, which is why I absolutely love our itty
so you
bitties.
can move them around.
Yes. Okay. In a world where we have all of our tasks written down.
Our backlog brain drop.
Yes. Are we going to do this right now, all of these?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. It's time to prioritize them. When we prioritize, we want to think about what is most important to what is least important.
Yes.
And then we want to order those tasks. And I keep bringing in brain drop, but that's what's cool about this pad, because you can assign them a number from most important to least important.
Yes, absolutely.
It's time to start sprint planning. A sprint is a block of time and a set of goals that you want to achieve. Within this block of time, which is typically 1 week or 2 weeks, and by the end of this week, we want to get these 3 tasks completed.
Okay.
Those 3 tasks should be the top 3 tasks that you have prioritized.
Okay.
So I'm going to open my planner here. And first, I'm going to start with my board. So you saw the brain drop pad. Here is another way to do your backlog. I have prioritized my tasks by, this is the most important task list here.
Okay.
This is coming down the pike. So it could be in a week or 2. Okay. But I'm not going to focus on those right now, right? And then these tasks over here they're someday soon. I don't really have a due date around them, but they're
like these categories.
Now, if you have 1,000 stickies and you're like, that's not enough space, that's okay too.
Right.
Because in the back of your planner, you can also have a backlog where you throw all of your other stickies.
Oh my gosh, so fun.
Yeah, so they're out of sight and out of mind, but they're not forgotten.
Yes.
But we're focusing on what matters.
Okay. Do I agile plan? I just don't know it.
It's so funny because Nancy and I were talking about this video and I was like, Lolly is going to be so surprised at herself.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just validating. You plan like a boss. You're just validating what you're doing.
I'm basically an engineer.
Basically.
So that's all.
I mean, it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah. So art major, so smart.
So smart. Let's put ourselves back into agile mindset.
Okay, let's go back.
It's Sunday.
We're not perfect.
Yeah, we're not perfect.
We're pivoting.
Okay. We will pivot at the end of the week, but right now
we don't pivot yet.
It's Sunday. Okay. We've done our backlog.
Yep.
Now it's time to sprint plan. So we have prioritized our tasks.
Okay.
And our sprint is for this upcoming week. Enter tool number 2. This is a Kanban board. This is a way to visualize your goals and how they're doing, how they're tracking.
And you'd put your priorities in the to-do?
Yep.
Okay.
So when I sat down on Sunday, these 3 stickies were actually in my prioritized column.
Oh, they already were. Okay, great.
You see there's other stickies here too. Why didn't I bring those in? It's because when you sit down to do sprint planning, you want to take a look at your capacity for the week.
Gosh, I literally do this, you guys.
Mind blown. Would you like to hear a fun fact?
Yes.
So in Scrum, you have a Scrum Master.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so that's the person who's like master of ceremonies and basically
do they get to wear a cool outfit?
They absolutely. Some of them
for
sure, they were pretty cool people.
Yeah,
would you like to know the name of my Scrum Master?
Yes,
Patty.
Shut up. You've made somebody up. That's your Scrum Master.
Swear to you.
That was her actual name.
Yeah. Hi, Patty. Yeah.
I love it. Patty the Planner Girl would be a good Scrum Master.
She would be a great Scrum Master.
Okay.
So back to it.
People are going to ask about this. We're product testing.
So I created this.
Yes.
And laminated it. So this is not a product
yet,
maybe. So I've taken a look at my schedule Sunday, sat down, and I wrote in what I wanted to get done this week. So these are my chunks of time that I am working. And then these are the things that I, wanted to do. These are some of my tasks.
Okay.
Here. After I looked at this, I saw the chunks of time that I have here. And then I also know that right now we had our academic launch. It was very successful. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
And it is a high volume time for me because I'm in customer service.
Right.
I have these tasks back here that I really wanted to bring in. I'm being very mindful for myself. I'm setting myself up for success, and I'm knowing that these tasks on top of what I'm doing with customer service are going to be too much. And if I try to bring those into this week, I won't get them done. And then I'll feel like a failure. So I'm setting myself up for success. And I'm saying these aren't time bound. These aren't due this week. Right. There's nothing really holding them to this week. So what are the ones that I can bring in this week? So these were the 2 tasks for work that I decided that I was going to bring in this week. And then I had one for my doggy. Take it to the vet. Well, I looked at what was most important. And then also I gave it what we call a t-shirt size. So how hard is this going to be to do? Is this in t-shirt size small? Ooh, is it a medium? Relatable. Is it a large?
Okay.
And then from that, I looked at my schedule and I'm like, oh, customer service. I know how much time that's going to take up in my day.
Yeah.
I have a few chunks of time where I can take on a couple of medium-sized projects.
I love that.
Even if I don't get them done, they're
started.
So like this one's in progress. Got my first automation out.
Yes!
So excited. Anyway, so this is your sprint for the week. This is what your goal is to get these to the done column this week.
Okay.
Now it's time to do the work. Monday, Jenn shows up. And what we would do in Scrum world, in product world, is we would have a stand-up every morning. The team would get together and we would stand in a circle. Each of us would say, what did we do yesterday? What are we doing today?
Okay.
Are there any issues keeping us from accomplishing our goals? That really helped us to understand in that moment if things were not going as planned, it was time to pivot. You may have to make some compromises.
Right. Somebody who's planning by themselves and using this, they can have a stand-up morning, like, okay, ask themselves those questions.
Yes, it's checking in with yourself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I love that.
And being kind to yourself if you need to change something out. An example of this was yesterday. I was going to work out, but my son missed the school bus and my daughter left her overnight weekend bag in my husband's truck, which was at the airport, and she needed her tennis shoes for gym. I had to pivot and I had to take care of what was most important. I had to get my kid to school and then I had to get those tennis shoes. And that was fine. I found time in the end of the day yesterday to go for a walk instead.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Yeah.
We pivoted.
Totally.
And I don't feel like a failure. Everything worked out. So let's say we're going through the week, we're checking in with ourselves, we are making changes to our schedule as needed. Friday is where we do our retrospective. The retrospective is a reflection where we check in with this week. What went well this week? What didn't go well? And what can we change for next week? So I have over here, this is my retro column that I do at the end of the week where I have my 3 guys. I like to color code them and I do happy faces and sad faces and faces.
Yeah.
And so that really helps me understand what I can do for the next week moving forward.
I love this column.
Like last week, for example, you see my sad face for no automations work. And the reason why when I retrospectively looked at it was because I had all 5 tasks that I had brought into that week. And I was like, I am going to work on these.
Yeah.
But again, we were in high volume time.
Yep.
And that is more important to make sure customers are taken care of.
Right.
So this week I pivoted and I just brought in a couple tasks. And so far my happy faces are showing.
Yes,
and I got my first automation.
Yes.
So that is the retrospective.
Oh, I love that. So you just change it based on that. You're like, you ask yourself why, and then you change it, and then you put that in your priorities.
Yes.
Or break up the task further because of that.
Yes. And that's actually really important too. Is sometimes the tasks you set out to do is really big. If it's really big, can you break it down?
So then you have more happy faces and maybe more backlog. Like your backlog is bigger.
Yeah. And you're making progress.
I think some people don't want to see a big backlog, don't want to see a big brain drop.
Yep.
They're resisting that, but then what happens is their actual project is too big.
Yes.
Then they can't actually get anything ever done.
And we don't want you to freeze.
Yeah. So don't resist the big backlog brain drop situation. Do that and then.
Yes. Then after retro is done, you celebrate your wins too. Every task you complete is a win because that was your goal.
Yes.
So celebrate them.
I probably scored a 0 on this.
No.
I'm not good at celebrating my wins.
Celebrate your wins.
I just move on to the next thing. But I think if I had this, I probably would.
Yeah, try it out. Check it out. See how you feel about it. What happens next? Well, next thing is Sunday comes, and now it's sprint 2.
Sprint 2.
and you do the whole thing over again. You start with your backlog. You prioritize. Sometimes other things come in, right, that are more priority than some of these. And you have to make adjustments. It's living. It's breathing. It's exactly how it should be. So always be ready to pivot. It's fine. Plan for the unplanned. Yeah, I'm just curious, if you guys want to give it a try.
I know. I'm just shocked. I'm shooketh.
Yes.
That I feel like I do this. And I also have been so distracted by how amazing this is, the whole video. I just have to say that as well. It has my wheels a-turning.
Yay, that's exciting. Yeah, and I really do hope that this helps anybody out there who is watching this and is feeling frozen in time, in life and in Planner. And it doesn't even have to be that you follow these steps. It could just be getting into that mindset. Sometimes it's just that mindset shift that you need to focus on first.
Especially people that just feel like they've never been able to figure out how to get a project done. Like they just freeze.
Right.
This would be a really good idea to try. For sure.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it. Yay. Jen, you're such a good teacher. I'm so grateful for you. This is so good. This is sort of, you guys, like part 3 of our little series on Jen teaches us how to actually get stuff done. Check out the Pomodoro and the Kanban. Kanban's amazing. And we're making a little like playlist of Jen teaches you the things.
With technical terms. And now you can go impress all of your product friends.
Yes.
Go have that stand up with yourself.
Do that thing.
Do the retrospective.
Oh my gosh, we should all stand up. Be like, it's stand up time.
Yes.
Similar to frog tasks. We'll all be like, what'd you do during your stand up time?
100%.
Yes. Okay, what's our sign? May your agile be acrobatic. Thanks, Nancy, for the wings. And your projects be
prioritize and progressive.
Bye.
Scrum delicious. Okay, so
overwhelmed.
Yeah,
so
we're doing overwhelmed.
That's good. Ooh.
Thank you. Yay. Like I might be a sticker designer, but I use Agile. Sometimes we have to scrum.
And we got to scrum.
Always we have to scrum.
Always be scrumming.
We live in Scrum.
We live in Scrum.
We live in Scrum. Okay.